Welcome back. It's time to hear from both sides on the top political issues in that segment we like to call Two Sides.
Two Sides. From the left, we welcome for the first time Democratic strategist Brian Rothenberg. Brian, good morning. And from the right, Republican strategist Terry Casey. Good morning, Terry.
So the rules are very simple in this segment. We put 15 seconds on the clock, put a topic right there on the table, and we let you both comment on it. When you hear this, your time is up.
All right, Terry, your first Medicaid expansion will or won't be resurrected by the state Senate?
Well, we've got a lot of time. It's kind of like we're in the second or third inning of a baseball game, or more specifically, Michigan was ahead by 12 in the national championship game, but they ended up losing. The game isn't over till it happens, and so there's a lot to happen, as Representative Amstutz noted, between now and June.
Was that a yes or no?
There'll be parts of it in. We'll see how much.
All right.
I feel bad for Terry. I think you got to battle yourself on this, the House Republicans versus the governor. But the grand old party is really tarnished right now. It's just the old party, old ideas, old types of things, attacking people, forgetting about the 250,000 people that need Medicaid expansion. It's going to be back in.
All right.
Brian.
Yeah.
The Ohio Tea Party took on Governor Kasich and won?
No, the Tea Party didn't win. 250,000 people lost. What really is happening here is that you have a situation where the internal part of the party, exactly what happened in the Romney campaign, is imploding on itself. And if this continues, it's going to be a continued problem for the governor as he goes into re-election.
As Speaker Batchelder noted this week, a big part of the problem goes to the president. If the so-called Affordable Care Act was working better, wasn't unraveling, and the rules were clear, because Representative Amstutz correctly noted, 3 years from now, we don't want to suddenly be stuck with the feds changing the rules and saying, oh, you got to pay 80% of the cost.
All right, school funding, Terry, better balanced in the House budget than the governor's?
Well, we've got a lot of work to do. The biggest problem is Ohio's a diverse state, 612 districts. It's hard to make one size fits all, and a lot of the districts have grown in population, like Olentangy. Others have shrunk. At some point, you got to adjust the formula so it's fair for all districts.
Old party, old ideas. Again, we're going back to the old way of doing funding. You're just giving money to different districts. It's better than it was, but you know what? The charter schools are gobbling up for profit. Most of this, it's going to continue as the lobby for the charter schools pushes this forward. It's a big problem. It needs to get better.
You got the JFK thing going on pretty good too.
Brian, Ohio Democratic lawmakers, too few in numbers to really make a difference in the budget fight?
Well, you just heard from Representative Amstutz earlier. They might need Democrats in both the House and the Senate. They're actually, because of the Tea Party putting Democrats in play, it's a good thing. It means we're going to have bipartisan solutions if the governor really wants to legislate in that way, which is the best thing that could happen with these redistricted districts.
If the Democrats want to come to the table, they got to be ready to vote for some things. They just can't keep attacking and being nasty and playing political games. So we'll see if they want to be players. Again, this budget cycle, it takes a long time. The Senate's going to have it. Then there's going to be the conference committee in June. It'll be good for TV.
All right, hate to bring this up again, but Planned Parenthood funding back in the spotlight in the House budget. Terry, will this issue ever be settled?
Well, part of the thing is Planned Parenthood feels they're at the first of the line and always entitled to get the first share of any money. There's a lot of other health providers out there, particularly in rural and smaller counties, who'd like a share at some of the money. So I think it's good to have the debate and discussion.
Old party, old ideas, war on women. Once again, this has nothing to do with abortion. It's taking away services in rural areas and many other places, things like pap smears and cancer screenings and those type of things. This is the old party, the old ideas of the Republican Party, and you thought they rejected it at the last election.
Brian, speaking of parties, the Tea Party helping or hurting Republican chances to reclaim all of the statewide offices?
This is Romney's campaign all over again. Once again, you've got the Tea Party taking over. You've got them fighting with each other. In order to get the base back, the governor's going to have to go right. It's going to hurt him in 2016. It's going to hurt the whole ticket. It's going to hurt Josh Mandel. It's going to hurt a lot of folks.
Terry?
The good news in Ohio, we actually have to have a balanced budget, and the governor's working that way, and I think we're making progress. We're a lot closer on a balanced budget than Obama is. So the Tea Party correctly raises fiscal issues. The good news in Ohio, we're going to have a balanced budget, and it's going to satisfy most of the needs.
Quickly, in Washington, will either immigration reform or gun background checks bill make it out of the House?
Well, I think there's a chance for a bill on both of them. Part of it depends on the president, because if the president gets too carried away with hot dogging and saying, I want my bill my way, it's going to backfire on him. But I think clearly in the Senate and I think in the House, there's a chance to get some things done if people can work together and the president stays out of it.
Yes and yes, it's going to happen. It's going to happen because 90% of the people want background checks. It's going to happen because people want immigration reform. The bottom line here is the Tea Party and the NRA, groups that don't have the actual support of the American people, going to dominate in the legislature.
All right, Brian. Good job.
All right,
good
thanks.
job. Hot dogging and old party, old ideas. We learned a lot.
We learned a lot today. Thanks so much for joining us on Capitol Square.
Take care. See you next time.